it is not the king runs the country, it is run by politicians, but the kings provide a umbrella for everybody. So it is more like the two past aspects. One is to unify all the Nepalese of all the groups, whether you are got elected or unelected. Plus, it also represents our heritage. One is the Maoist terror, and the second one is the corrupt leaders, that's the politicians. And they have done it not because of Nepalese people's demand, but because of the foreign influence. They are paid by foreigners, and these people are acting against our own nation. And that the justice must be done. That the foreign powers, including United States, to destabilize Nepal and divide Nepal into different ways. For example, Dharma Nirapekshata is also imposed. Similarly, Sangheta or the Federalism also imposed on us. It is not our demand. Similarly, the king is also been removed because all of that to weaken our unity and our the nationhood to have the impose on that.
Dr. Tilak Shrstha sir, welcome to the Gorkha Spirit.
Namaskar, namaste sabailai.
So, what do you think about the monarchy at this time?
I think it's good. Looks like the way I see outside the news going around, that our monarchy may come back again. I don't know how it will come back or when or something like this. I'm not privy to all that. But in my opinion, we should have not really monarchy, but the constitutional monarchy. That's what we need. And basically, we are not talking about king ruling the nation. No, it should be done by the political party itself. That the political party should go to election, and the winner of the political party will be running the government. There's no question, doubt about that. But the constitutional monarchy will be something one layer above the general politics. So let me put like this. This is the Republican elected democratic government. Then we have to have one more layer above that will work under the dharma, ethics, and the morality. And so the leading will be from the dharmic side and that one. And the king's position is not as a politician, no, but as a person who represents our heritage. The way we have Janak, the way we have Buddha, the way we have Sita, Prakriti, the Birbahu, and those kinds of group, Sangadhar Sakhwal, Mahendra Malla, King Raja Mahendra Shah.
So it means you support the monarchy system, but you just talked about the constitutional monarchy. What's the difference between monarchy and constitutional monarchy?
Basically, in the monarchy, the king is the center of the sovereignty. In the constitutional monarchy, the sovereignty is with the people, and it run by the democratic elected government. And the king is above that. And so, it is not the king runs the country, it is run by politicians, but the kings provide a umbrella for everybody. So it is more like the two past aspects. One is to unify all the Nepalese of all the groups, whether you are got elected or unelected. Plus, it also represents our heritage. And that's what makes us Nepalese. Suppose I say, I'm Nepali. What do you mean by that? If I'm not proud of my heritage, then why I'm Nepali, right? So the king provides that kind of, the factor in our national life.
So Republican leaders doesn't support the kingship or monarchy system, but you support that constitutional monarchy. Why they are not supporting the king, if it is so?
Well, they have their own reasons. I'm not sure what they want that. But the way I see is, they are saying that if the king comes, then Republican or the sovereignty of people will go away. That's wrong. That's not true. Basically, the republicanism or the democracy where elected government and the party run the government is basic. That's the basic of the democracy. It has to be there. It is there. It has to be there. But then, problem is these people are not running the democracy properly. Number one, they are mostly corrupt. Second, they are run by the foreigners. And these two factors is what making us poor, right? And if king comes back, and if they controls and provide justice to all these corrupt ministers and all the people, and they are afraid of that. It's not, they upfront they say, king is against the democracy. No, that's not true. The constitutional monarchy means is above the democracy. No question about that, right? But then why they oppose? Democracy is there. We all support democracy, no question about that. But then, in the name of democracy, if people are sharing off our nation, and if they are talking about treason, and if they are talking about corruption, then that will be controlled, and that's what they are afraid of.
So that's why they oppose the monarchy.
That's correct. I mean, they oppose the constitutional monarchy for that.
Do you think they will be supported by the public at this time?
That need to be seen by referendum, right? However, we have to go back to the original question. That king was not removed because of the people's demand. No. It was done by the two factors. One is the Maoist terror, and the second one is the corrupt leaders. That's the politicians. And they have done it not because of Nepalese people's demand, but because of the foreign influence. They are paid by foreigners, and these people are acting against our one nation. And that the justice must be done.
So foreign powers
Yes.
are involved to remove the kings
That's
at that
correct.
time.
That's correct. And not only that, there are two more factors. One is the Sangheta.
Federalism.
Federalism. And the second one is Dharma Nirapekshata. Both were also imposed on us. They are not the people's demand. For example, we had before, done by Dr. Harka Gurung, we had 14 zones and the 5 economic zones, right? So what's wrong with that? They are designed to have Himal, Pahad, and the Tarai come together as unifying all the people, right? Now, this the new system is about dividing people by the jati. Here is a Madhesi for Madhes for the Madhesi. Here is a Limuan for the Kiratis, for the Newa, Nepal Mandal for that, and the Tamasani, all that. Why?
Don't you support that federalism, the Limbuan?
No, this is a very bad thing to do. We shouldn't have them. This is
But they are demanding. Why?
That's all because of propaganda, and they were not explained what it actually is, right? For example, in Nepal, we had before Baise, Chobise, and all those groups, lots of small kings one. None of them are jati based. It is not like European system. And each of those, the principalities or small kingdoms, they had all kinds of people living together, right? And so, exactly when we had the kingdoms called the Madhes kingdom, when we have like what's that one? The Magarat kingdom. None of that. It's all been brought up to divide Nepalese in terms of jati, which we never had, right? And so
the foreign power centers used.
Yes, used.
So you also oppose the federalism and secularism in Nepal.
Right. Now, let me talk about federalism before. And so this is designed to divide us and bring the frictions between different jatis. In Nepal, we had many jatis. We're living together. We have so many languages, so many jatis, so many groups of people, but we never had fight. When did Newas fought Tamangs and Gurung fought the Magars? When we had that? We never had that. So we have so many jatis. We live together. Well, do their one things, right? So today, this is designed to have problems, to create the friction between this one, so that foreigners can have control on us. That's number one. Number two, let me talk about the secularism, right? Number one, religion is not dharma. The secularism is not dharma nirapekshata. And the people who say dharma nirapekshata, they are the idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. Let me put it like this. The dharma of your fire is to be heat, to provide you hot. Can you make the fire? Hey, fire. Now we have secular, so you cannot have the heat. Can you do that? The dharma of a teacher is to teach well. So do you want teacher with dharma or without dharma? Now the secularism is imposing religion, that is to run the nation legal system as the Bible says. That's bad. As the Quran says, that's bad. That's not what we're talking about, right? Like say, for example, Rashtra Dharma, the dharma of the nation is what? We are not talking about a particular scripture to run the nation. No, we are not talking about that. What we are talking about is we are proud of our heritage, and the Rashtra Dharma or the dharma of the nation is to take care of all the individuals, all the citizens, no matter what their background is, to do good for all of them and provide security and the progress for all the citizens. We are not talking about imposing a particular religion. So that must be clear.
So at this time, when the monarchy supporters are just like protesting, they are doing the rallies also. So in the same time, U.S. President Donald Trump, just like called the Nepalese or Nepal of just like the words fraud. He used the word fraud. So why he used that word? Is that sensible?
No, I would let me put like this. I don't know exactly how the Honorable President Trump said in what background. Sometimes the background must be probably.
We believe that he criticized our leaders, our legends, actually, who supports the federalism, republican system, or democracy system.
No,
Yeah.
let me put like this. The President Trump may not know exactly our internal Nepalese system, but it is well known that the foreign powers, including United States, to destabilize Nepal and divide Nepal into different ways. For example, Dharma Nirapekshata is also imposed. Similarly, Sangheta or the federalism also imposed on us. It is not our demand. Similarly, the king is also been removed because all of that to weaken our unity and our the nationhood to have the impose on that. Now, I may add one more factor onto this. Geopolitically now, the China is going up and India also coming up. And so now the American economy GDP is now almost equal to the Chinese. And the projection is after about 20-25 years, the China will be the twice of Americans and the Indian will be about the American. Now, this is not per capita though. It is we're talking about GDP, right? In that context, the center of the economy is going to move from the West to the Asia. And part of that, the geopolitically, what the West are doing is to have a control on Nepal, from where Nepal, they can look at both China in the north and India in the south, right? And for that one, so what they want to do is Christianize Nepal, like so to make the Nepalese as fast as possible the Christians. And so that this will be a Western outpost over here between China and India to look for both sides, to have a control. So that is victimizing us, right? And so we have to be careful that that is not acceptable to us. Because let me give you one sentence about Christianity. What's the core doctrine of Christianity? It means if you are a Christian, you can commit any kind of sin, crime, then you go to heaven. How easy, right? And if you are not Christian, no matter how virtuous, good you are, you go to the hell, right? So it is nonsense as it is, but it is being imposed on us in different pretexts. And why is that so? Because geopolitically, if you can Christianize Nepal, then it will be like a Western outpost here to look at both China and India in the south.
So it's a geopolitical disadvantage of Nepal.
It is not disadvantage, it's victimizing us. So we are being victims, so we got to be careful on that.
So what do you think about our legends who are just like criticized nowadays after that speech given by the Donald Trump?
Well, I wouldn't call them legends because legends are the people who have already gone.
We believe that they are legends, but now they just like talk about traitor.
I understand. That's what I'm trying to say. The legends are used for the people who have already passed away. And so we can say that today's prominent individuals, that'll be more proper term to use them. But it is really unfortunate that they've been accused. So let me put like this. At this moment, it is more of accusation. And to say that he has done something bad, there should be some, at least prima facie of evidence, right? But then, if personality like the Honorable President of the United States, Trump, says so, then you cannot take it lightly. You cannot take it lightly.
Do you believe him?
Yes, I do. I really do. Because the person like...
The world called him murderer.
No, it doesn't say that. Who said that? He just became president only like a month earlier. So what is the time for him to kill anybody? No, that's not the truth. What I'm saying is the president have all the information, right? Suppose he asked the FBI or CIA.
He is the president of
So
power country.
he will give all the information. And the people like Trump, you may not like him, you may not agree with him, but they will not lie. So what he says, I agree. I don't agree, say, I believe, right? But then it is incumbent on us to ask these personalities, these prominent people, what is your reaction to that? And all these people who've been accused, they should come out and say, no, I did not do it, right? And if you don't do that, then the accusation stands.
When he told frauds to Nepalese leaders or legends, it will support the kingship. It is believed that. Do you think it's just a coincidence?
No, there is no relationship whatsoever. He's talking about American, lots of taxpayers' money going abroad, and Nepal is just a small, it's not even count that much, the small pond. There is lots of money going for Americans, like South Korea, like Western Europe, like Israel, Egypt, Jordan, all the people. So that we are talking about billions and billions of dollars, right? And so he's talking about in that context, and Nepal is just a small one.
In his context, he has just named two countries. Not only, I don't know the country, that's Hamas and that Palestine, Gaza area.
Right.
And the next is Nepal. Why only two?
Well, Hamas is very interesting because the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, they get lots of American aid, billions of dollars. And then the Americans would expect the money being used for, say, school and the hospitals and the better life of the people over there. But instead, they've been used to dig tunnels and put the rockets and all that to attack, right? And that's why he was saying, wait a minute, you take so much money from us and then you misuse it, right? That's one part of it.
Nepal also misused
their
money?
Right. And now, Nepal is different. We are not doing that kind of thing at all, right? But then, most probably, he is using Nepal as an example of third world countries. So, there are so many Africans and so many Asian countries get American aid. I don't know. I'm not saying I know. However, most probably, Nepal being such a small, the country, he's talking about giving as an example, right? So we provide so much money to Nepal through the USAID. So why they are not being properly used? Maybe that context. But however, let me put like this. There are two things. Number one, if US sends $100 to Nepal, out of that $20, $30, $40 goes back to America itself. Next $15, $20 goes to Nepalese top the leaders, right? Obviously, or whatever, right? All the corrupt people, I would put like this. And the real people who are supposed to get it, maybe $15, $20, right? Now, that's one thing. Second one is, we should say, thank you very much. We really appreciate you, America giving us USAID, but we don't need that anymore. Because earlier, we have so few doctors and engineers, but we have so many doctors and engineers unemployed. So why we need that, right? And no country or no individual comes up by begging. So USAID means America providing us a donation and we are accepting it, right? It's a fine, and hopefully we may be able to reverse the course. But now, no, we don't want that. What we want is if United States wants to help us, please do give us not donation, but investment. You please come, bring your investment, open up factories and other things. We get job, we will work hard, and you make profit, right? And it should be business deal, right? We are having problem but not having jobs, and so out of hundreds of thousands of people are going abroad because we have no jobs. So please come invest here. We work, create job, and you make profit. So we are not talking about donation here. That should be done. And also, MCC we have to reject. There are two aspects of it. Number one, the Article 7.1 clearly says that the MCC laws are above Nepalese laws. That is not acceptable. Number one, right? And number two, when it was passed by our Nepalese parliament, it was attached to 12 points understanding, right? Now, if that's the case, If the United States MCC does not agree with this parliament, Nepal parliament passed 12-point agreements, then Nepal cannot implement the MCC in Nepal, right? So both issue must be totally clear. That is, if US wants to implement MCC in Nepal, then number one is to agree with the 12-point understanding passed by Nepal's parliament. Also, 7.1 article must be rejected. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for joining with us.
Namaste, everybody. Namaskar.